Hi everyone, welcome to our discussion. Today we're thrilled to dive into the new tabs block. And you may already be familiar with it, but we're here to take it a step further and talk about it a bit more, explore its features and capabilities, as well as maybe give some tips that you could use when you're using the tabs block for your website. And first of all, thank you for being with us today. Again, like always, this live stream is pre recorded, but Benjamin is still ready to answer and engage with you guys in the chat box. And once the live stream is over, this video will still be available on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. So still feel free to comment on the section for any questions or feedback, and we'll happily get back to you.
Okay, thanks, Bea. A lot of you guys have been asking for the tabs block for quite a while now, and we're all happy to say that it's finally here. So we're just gonna have this quick session just to show you the tabs block and how it works, and some tips on how to make the most out of it.
Mhm. Okay, so to start off our discussion, could you please explain what the tabs block is, especially for those who might not be familiar with it yet?
Okay, so let me just to share my screen. Okay. So this is the tabs block. So it's just your run of the mill tabs. You have your tabs at the top over here, and then when you click on it, it opens the corresponding tab. So here's how it works. Let me just open the list view. So it's a collection of blocks actually. So you have your tabs block, which is your main wrapper, and then you have your tab labels block, which just um, dictates the looks of the main tabs at the top. And then you also have your tab content, which has multiple columns inside. So each inner column over here corresponds to one tab. So the first tab corresponds to the first inner column, second tab is for the second one, and then the third tab is for the third. So you have your some toolbar buttons over here to add, clone, or remove a tab. And then, as you can see, since each tab is just an inner column, so you can add any block inside as your content. And then, if you mastered already how to use the columns block, then you'll also pretty much know how to style the tab, since it's also an inner column. So all the same commands or all the same options are there for your tabs. So for the overall options for the tabs, you go to the main tabs block. So you'll have here your layout options, horizontal or vertical for the tabs. And then if you wanna design the tab labels, then you go into the tab labels block, and then there you can see the styles corresponding just for the tabs. So that's basically how it works.
Are there any specific features that you'd want to highlight, or maybe that um, that you believe would enhance its usage?
Okay, so for styling the tabs, let me just switch to my next demo over here. So I especially like the styling options that we have for the tab labels. So because of the styling options, you can your tabs, they don't necessarily have to look like a traditional tab design. So for example here, I have something that resembles a pricing box or a pricing list, and then you can have the functionality of tabs. You can have something like this that switches from monthly to annual pricing. But then right now it just looks like your regular tabs. But if you head over to the tab labels, you have other styling options over here: default, classic, button, and centered pills. And all of these just are they're like presets for the other options. So they change the options depending on what you clicked. But essentially, it means that you can design your tabs block to look like something like a pricing switcher. So that's something that I think that's very powerful.
So you showed us an example, but could you give us an overview of how to utilize or apply the tabs block?
Okay, so this is one of them. You can build your regular tabs, horizontal or vertical, with horizontal or vertical tabs, and then something like a pricing box. But aside from putting static content, so you can build something dynamic using the site editor with this. So let me just head on to the next demo. So I have here a regular blank theme using the default 2023 theme. I've added some content a bit, so you have here your surfing retreat, cultural city tour, scenic hiking adventure. So what if you have something like this? If I go inside one of these posts, then you can see I have a featured image, the title, and I have here an implementation of the tabs block. So what I did here is I put a tabs block, and then the post content would be, I placed it inside the first tab, and then I used a plugin called ACF, and I added in some custom fields, and then I put them on the post, and then I added them in the
Mm.
second tab. So you can achieve stuff like this. If you're familiar with WooCommerce, then WooCommerce has a similar template before, wherein you have your tabs containing different details about the product. But now you can achieve something like that with just the tabs block and the site editor. So let's just check out real quick how this post was set up. So you have here your title, and for the post content, I have just this. And then using ACF, I set it up so that I have some custom fields here, number of people, days, and price range. So just some random things for this demo. And then if you go back and you click this edit site button over here, this will bring us to the page template or the post template. So if this doesn't work for you, that's because I'm using already WordPress 6.3, and this is one of the improvements that we have over here there. So over here is how I built that single post template. So let's open up the list view, and here I put in my tabs. Then I just made the description, details, photos for the tab labels, and then for the first tab, I just put in the post content block. So that takes care of the post content. And then for the next tab, I just put there some rows with some text. And then this part on the right is just some dynamic content. And then I just picked the corresponding custom field that I wanted to display. So you can build this right now with just the site editor, and then you can achieve building post templates using tabs.
Mm. Well, thank you, Benjamin, for showing that to us. That's basically it for today's discussion. It may be quick, but we hope that it was informative and beneficial in understanding our new tabs block and how to make the most out of it. So, thank you again, Benjamin, for telling us more about the tabs block and for providing some insights and tips, and of course, demonstrating how to use it. And thank you also, everyone, for joining us today. As always, remember that this video will still be available on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. So, again, feel free to leave your thoughts, feedback, or even questions in the comment section, and we'll still get back to you and answer them. So, thank you again. Until next time, happy stacking.